Any questions up till now? I saw that Jamie was holding a little court. No, he should. I mean, to explain some of the nuances. But as I said, I mean, each one of you will develop your own style. Even though you've been exposed to 4 or 5 different styles, all from different background, different levels of education, different levels of speaking ability, communication skills, different levels of money raised in the past, from 0 to 3 rounds of funding. The interesting perspective from Tony, the kid from Hong Kong, Chinese kid from Hong Kong, who has been on the other side of the funding, where he funds deals and invests in deals and etc. It's as he would tell you, it's completely the opposite. I mean, his skill sets are significantly different than the skill sets required to get one of these deals funded. Although he's at an advantage having been on the other side of the table. But for those of you that have been in that position, you would think, wrongfully so, you would think that because you're used to that side, that it would make it some things significantly easier, and it doesn't. It doesn't do that because of that same bicycle thing. You've learned, no, I don't like that. What about this? When you're there, you're being asked, and it's the same thing. Although I do believe it is, in some ways it's an advantage, but in some ways it's a disadvantage, because you've got those entrenched in that your questions are based on your skill set, based on your experience, and it's not the same as you going, as I used to say, which is truthful, hat in hand, begging for money. And I keep this here to remind myself, I used to go hat in hand. Some of you are too important, and I don't mean you, but I mean fucking morons on YouTube, are to go hat in hand. You've worked too fucking hard to get where you are in life, to go on your fucking knees begging for money. Wrong. If that's your attitude, you might as well give your fucking kilt and your shit back to Kim now, and we don't have to go through graduation. Jamie didn't enjoy the experience, but he got good enough at it, and now he's, he knows what works and what doesn't for him. Anything about anything? Aria is coming on in 20 minutes. But before, and again, he had a different approach, which you've seen. You have a different approach. One of the questions that I would ask if I were you melonheads, but I mean, this is just one guy, 70 in a few days, that's seen about 800 or 900 of you come through the program, is what was the biggest difference from his perception to when he got in front of the first person? Because his communication skills are pretty good. Some of you, all of you should practice what did he practice? What were the things that he spent most of his time on getting ready? Okay. We're giving you the benefit of the doubt. You're not the great leaders here, but you're going to be talking to some guys that have some real leadership skills. And what do they all know? Well, one of the things they know now, and this is the hardest thing, one of the hardest things for me to still do, and I still go back to default on it, is that you can't impose your will like the 4th or 5th century manager that I really am down deep in my soul. Down deep in your soul. Now, there's certain parts of the world you still can impose your will. Let me think here. Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, parts of South Africa, part of the Eastern Bloc countries, Russia, to name a few. But for the most part, I just got an offer from somebody from Latvia. Yeah, I think it's Latvia. And the Eastern Bloc countries, the old Eastern Bloc, because they're not the Eastern Bloc anymore, somehow discovered my Gestapo methods. Not unlike you, actually. They said when you got done that you sounded, or I said, you sounded like a Gestapo officer getting ready to grill and send somebody off to the fucking ovens. Now see, that doesn't hurt his feelings. They got a lot accomplished. So, but it doesn't hurt any of you to be more aggressive like he was in the presentation. This is, a soft sell is not what you want. You want a professional hard sell. Unless you are in the Army officer, can't lead without first understanding what it is to be a follower. One of the things that some of you, well, all of you, because most of you are in following positions, you've been following positions. In other words, you've had leadership, you've had people above you. We have some people that come here that have never had anybody above them. So it's a little difficult for them to assume the position in a positive way to be a leader. The people up on the back wall, and many of these people, in fact, all those people, have leadership skills that you will have to develop. Some of you have a few leadership skills, but I mean, and the main leadership skill that you will have to develop to get these things done with the accountants, the Lord, is your communication skills. Now, as articulate and Jamie really writes better than he talks. He writes exceedingly well. And he knows that I wouldn't tell him that if I didn't believe it, although I beat the fuck out of him for the last year. But the good news is, when I see that executive summary, oh, fuck, somebody knows how to write here. And that's why the executive summary is so important. And I don't write it for you. And don't ask him to write it for you. Oh, Jamie, what do you think of this? That's not his task. And I know some of you fucks have already thought of that. So I'm going to stop it right now. I also put in the email in the Dropbox that you're going to get, you haven't got yet, for the templates that we added to the old guys' templates. If I find out that you called them, face fucked them, link fucked them, tweet fucked them, whatever, about their presentation, you're out. I send it to you because it's part of the arrows that are in your quiver now. I didn't send it to you for you to call Tony, for you to call all these guys, and for you to bother Jamie. But Jamie is really kind of a Santa Claus kind of guy, and so he'd probably fuck with you. But I'm already saying don't do it. I hope everybody understands, because I'm dead serious about that. I mean, he's on his path now, and I'm happy that he's here and he's able to help. So you're going to get these and put them into practice. Why do you have high performance men and women? one of the questions that's going to get asked is why do you get paid so much and why do you have so much of the deal? Powell, how would you going to answer that?
They make difficult decisions.
Yeah, but how? No, when asked you, fucking okay, pimple face, why you? Especially the pimple faces in the room. Nobody's got pimples, but kids. Why do you have 58% of this deal?
Because I make the hard decisions.
Oh, yes, jawohl, mein Herr.
And besides that, I deserve it. Because I deserve a lot.
Well, leave the deserve part out. The other part was good. Yeah. Okay. Who else? Why do you...
Doing all the hard work.
I put this fucking thing together. I'm the energy. I did all the legwork. I brought you all... Okay.
I was one of the founders, and the chairman had faith in me. He chose me for this position, and I never go against the chairman.
Slick. I mean, yeah. You can tell maturity and that Ivy League slickness. Yeah. Now, is that the Yale or the Columbian? Yeah.
No, it's the con.
The con. That's the right answer. That's good. That's one of the right answers. Okay. Mateos' answer is also correct, except for that last part. I deserve to be wealthy and you to be poor. I deserve to live and you deserve to die. No. Yeah, no. That's not the right part of the answer. Especially on YouTube, that's not the right part of the answer. Anybody else got it? Why? Because that will come up, especially for the young kids. They used to ask me that, and I used to.
The most risk.
Well, you're not really taking any risk. You're not putting up any money. So no, that sounds like a Matt the Moron answer, which is one of my mentees, which is one of his mentors. No, the best answer is what Jamie said. Which Jamie said, and that's why it's so important who you get to be the chairman of your deal, because you can lay all kind of shit off on him or her. It's mostly him. Once in a while it's a her, and that's not because I'm being chauvinistic or anything. It just is, and they'll buy off on it. Yeah, because what they're going to think is this. Okay, let's take Powell. Okay, he's not exactly well, he is a kid, but he's got this chairman. He's got these board of directors that are directly or indirectly, really directly, aligning their reputation, their credibility, their 82 million years of track record on him. So, I mean, what is that telling me, Mr. Doofus accountant, me, Mr. Doofus lawyer, me, financial institution? It's that they believe in the kid. Why, for myself, why in the zenith of my career would I do this if I didn't believe in it? And the other potential chairman and directors are going to believe, basically be in the same position. Why? Not necessarily in the golden years of their career, but why, after all these years of success, would I take a chance on something I didn't believe in, and a person I didn't believe in? And it works. And it happens to be 100% truthful. Okay, YouTube. Thank you. We'll see you tonight.